Hey everybody, just another example of the IS-7 doing IS-7 things, platooned up again with Canadian T-Rex. This time we've ended up on Ensk, which is probably one of the stronger maps for this tank. However, I decided to do something a little unorthodox. Usually the IS-7 game plan on Ensk is to go straight into Thunderdome in the city. This time I decided I would try something a little different. So I'd go to the left into the lumberyard. Now this is what I would normally do in a medium tank, not a heavy. The IS-7 is by no means lacking in armor, nor is it as fast and agile as a medium, but it does have some good shock value, and typically the things that will come into lumberyard are either medium tanks or sometimes tank destroyers, but if the TDs come this way, I'm an IS-7, I've got armor. I was hoping though that the majority of them would either stay in the backfield where they're easy to avoid, or would actually head into city. And part of the reason I came through here is because I didn't want to fight an IS-4 and an E-100 in Thunderdome, which are more or less on par with the IS-7 for bullshit armor. So I do the usual thing, I just put a narrow spotting line down this alley to see if there's anything coming up it yet. Sure enough, 54E1, I aim my shot badly, and he actually rides up on the side of a building there at the perfect time to bounce my shot. That probably would have pinned otherwise. And as you can see if you look to the top left, I'm running about 300 ping at constant packet loss at this point. This is my life now, basically, until I can afford to drop in a separate internet connection for myself, so I have to kind of get used to it. If I had a better response time because of less ping, I probably would have got a shot to that IS-8, who's now running up the outside trying to flank me, only to run into an E50M. But shit happens. I'm actually having to make pretty extensive use of auto-aim now as well, because I just simply cannot keep my aim on somebody if their tank's warping around. Now, the best player on the enemy team is actually their Charioteer, who's come down this flank. The Charioteer is something I really want, but don't really want to grind towards. I will pick one up at some point, just probably not for a couple months at least. It is a lot of fun. I played on a test server, I loved it. It's also a nice looking tank, which is, one of the important criteria for me getting something. The L7A1 on a tier 8 with good mobility is just fantastic. I scrub my shot there in the 54E1, and gets away around the corner. The Charioteer sets me on fire. Thankfully, I'm not a puppy and carry fire extinguishers, even on my Soviet tanks, because, as much as people say, oh, X tank has a low fire chance, or you won't get shot in the engine, you will get shot in the engine. You will roll for a fire. You will burn to death. It will be horribly embarrassing. Don't run without fire extinguishers unless you feel fully secure in your ability to just burn to death while looking like an idiot in front of your whole team. Anyway, the Charioteer's not got a lot of hit points, so I can roll up and finish him off in one hit. There's a JPE there, which is kind of scary. It's one of the few things an IS-7 really needs to look out for. However, the Leopard has got him pretty well occupied, and I roll around the corner to find him wedged with his side facing me. Well, that's easy enough to deal with. I take a hit from the Arty there, but it's a bat chat, 155-55, and he's not really going to have much luck against the front end of an IS-7. I decide to try and put some help in for my teammates back towards base here, and finish off the E4. No point staying to get a shot on the Waffenträger and making myself a big, easy Arty target, so I just keep pushing on. He'll get cleaned up eventually anyway, and apparently he's shooting HE, so not like it matters. The bat goes for a shotgun, misses, my snapshot also misses. There's a 704 here. Now the 704 is a threat, he can do quite a lot of damage to me, but he isn't likely to stand up to many shots from my gun. In fact, if I high roll, I think I can one-shot him. No, maybe not actually, I think he's just above. I think the max roll from this is like 600, 610, 615, something around there. Either way, I push her in the corner. I assume he's turning to face me, which of course he is, but although he snapshots and hits my gun and damages it, I have the time to aim and put in a shot into his lower plate. And even with a damaged gun at this range, it's unlikely this will fail to kill him. Sorry the camera jerked away at the last minute there, I was actually aiming at him. The replay bug seems to have been largely fixed, but at times the camera will suddenly swing away from the tank. But at least the tank's not like spazzing out across the screen like it used to be. There's still 3 enemy tanks left. Conveniently, all in Thunderdome, or around it at least. I roll up. You could see me aim initially for a hole there, but with a broken gun I wasn't sure if I'd actually hit the lower plate or not. The T-57's hull will actually bounce things off the upper plate and off the beak, so I went for the safer shot, which is the lower part of the oscillating turret. I work my way around him to finish him off, and now it's just the T-69 and the E-100. Now the T-69 is pretty easy for an IS-7 to deal with. It's unlikely he's going to be able to do much about me unless he gets to my flank or rear, which of course I'm not going to allow. So I let him go past. I was looking for a shot here. Unfortunately he went behind that building rather than cutting across in front of my gun like I was hoping he would be stupid enough to do. And again, maybe if I had a lower ping I could have made that shot. Maybe, maybe not. It's all academic because he gets away and the E-100 presents itself. He takes a snapshot, misses. Don't snapshot an E-100 for fuck's sake. And turns just enough side that my next shot goes straight through him and finishes him. And now with 7 kills, I go towards the T-69, but the Leopard finishes him off before I can. Not as big a game as some of the others, just shy of 3.9k damage this time, but again, it's just reinforcing how good this tank is at assaulting things. You know, it's difficult to beat when it comes to a spearhead tank. Anyway, that should be the last IS-7 replay for a while. I've got a couple of, shall we say, interesting ones coming up. I think you might like them. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you the best of luck in the field, and I'll see you on the next one.